Assalamualaikum everyone. So our group will present about the application of purification and cleanliness method in food and drinks based on the principle of Maslahah. Okay, in this topic what we will discuss is number 1, introduction, and then the definition of Istihalah, and then Maslahah. Next one is role of Maqasid Syariah, and then we will discuss about 5 issues related to Istihala and Maslahah, which is number 1 is ethanol, and then number 2 is Transglutaminase, number 3 cochineal, number 4 al-jalalah animal, and lastly luwak coffee. And the last one what we'll discuss is about conclusion of this topic. Okay, we start with introduction first. Nowadays, there have been debates and arguments over the status of halal and haram of food and beverage on a daily basis. Every year, there are various of issues emerge and occur related to food production which cannot escape with the development of science and technology. This phenomenon has given impact to the Muslim community. As we know, the emergence of new food and beverage product in society will always have a question of halal and haram occur. Current development of technology in food processing has enabled haram substance to be altered into halal. So, the previously mentioned background has revealed that Islam has provided some alternative to overcome such a problem, one of which is Istihalah method. The widespread use of science and technology in the food industry, as well as the halal certification position that has become a lucrative marketing mechanism, is the one of the Maqasid Syariah in order to protect the maslahah of all Muslims.
Okay, we move to the definition of Istihalah. Istihalah can be defined as a complete transformation occurred by physically and chemically. According to Nazzieratul, Istihalah refers to the transformation of filth or haram materials to another form which is different from the original materials either in the name, appearance and nature.
Now we will look at the definition of Maslahah based from the views of Imam Al-Ghazali. Maslahah consists of consideration which secure a benefit or prevent harm, but in the meantime still harmonious with the objective of Sharia. The concept of Maslahah has a very close relationship with Maqasid Syariah, as the Maqasid Syariah are defined briefly as obtaining benefit and preventing evil. Therefore, Maslahah is to affirm that prevention of mafsadah refer to the interest which conform to the intent of Allah and not the intent of individual. Maslahah also concern of the interest or benefit of the action to the world and hereafter. This is the definition of Maslahah based from fiqh scholars. Now we will move to the legal evidence of Maslahah. Firstly, from Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 107, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. The meaning is, we have not sent you but all mercy to all creatures. Second is from the Surah Al-Hajj, verse 78, وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. The meaning is, and He has imposed no difficulties in your religion.
For the next slide is roles of Maqasid Syariah in determining hukum. The Maqasid Syariah is a legal system that takes into account the attainment of the goal of bringing about the maslahah and rejecting the mafsadah. There are 5 goals of the Maqasid Syariah, which is the preservation of religion, life, intellect, posterity, and property. The measurement of maslahah can be divided into 3 stages, namely daruriyah, hajiyah, and tahsiniyah. In conclusion, Maqasid Syariah is very important in establishing and judging the law, bringing in maslahah and rejecting mafsadah.
Okay, next we move to current Istihalah issues that related with Maslahah.
Okay, now I will discuss on the issues of ethanol in food and beverages. This issue happened due to the misunderstanding in defining the word alcohol. Generally, not all alcohol is Aqmar and not all alcohol is illegal. There is a difference between alcohol and ethanol. Alcohol is a common ingredient which is an intoxicating drink and remove mental sanity, while ethanol means a liquid with C2H5OH that is flammable, volatile and colorless, which is an alcoholic substance in liquor and also used as a solvent. There are two categories of ethanol in halal food, which is ethanol from the natural categories, which produced by the process of fermentation of yeast or bacteria, and the industrial ethanol that can be produced by two methods, which is fermentation through fruit or liquor and the petrochemical synthesis. So, what is the rulings? The original rulings of the ethanol is permissible due to its benefit as an agent, emulsifier, and others in producing various types of product as long as it is from the halal sources. If the ethanol is from the fermentation of the liquor, then the rulings become illegal because Aqmar or liquor is prohibited in Islam, which it will bring harm to human physically and mentally. The process involved is Istihala and Istihalah sahih. For example, halal raw material such as sugarcane plus with the change agent mixing process from the halal sources, which will produce a halal finished product such as ethanol. The parameter for determining the validity of ethanol is as long as it is not intoxicating and the process is not from the fermentations of illegal sources such as alcohol. Based on the explanation before, the use of ethanols in food and beverages by the industry is justified as it is necessary in order to avoid harm, whereas without ethanol, there would be hug waste to the industry and would also inconvenience the industry in the process of producing millions type of product.
Now we will move to the Transglutaminase enzyme issue. This enzyme is mostly found from blood of the animal such as cow. This enzyme is known as meat glue because it helps meat to combine with other meats or protein. It is also used as food additive. The bonding function in this enzyme makes it very useful additive in food manufacture. The commercial name of this product is surimi. Surimi is originally made from fish, but the texture of the fish is less sticky. So the food industry used the other alternative, which is the transglutaminase enzyme that bears from the blood of the animal or the plasma of the blood as the thickness of the food. The application of Istihalah fasidah is used in this transglutaminase enzyme issue, which is it is based from blood and plasma powder. This is because base ingredient is the dough or the food and it will added with the changing agent which is transglutaminase enzyme to combine the ingredient. Then the last product will become the better food. The element of the blood still can be seen in the end of the product, so this issue will categorize into Istihalah fasidah. Go through the hukum of the issue. Based on Dr. Muhammad Zaini Osman, the use of part of the blood such as enzyme, plasma, white blood cell and red blood cell is permitted. This is because it is not the entire of the blood that we use that stated in Al-Quran and Hadith. But the view of fixed scholars is more acceptable, which is it based of the fiqh method. When combined between the halal and haram or mubah and haram, the haram is taken. Furthermore, we have the advanced biotechnology that can replace the transglutaminase enzyme with the recombinant enzyme, which is have the same function but it is halal for Muslim to consume. As for conclusion of this issue, the use of transglutaminase enzyme as maslahah in the food industry is prohibited because the use of the blood in it. In addition, we have the other alternative in order to make the additive of the food such as recombinant enzyme. It is clearly stated in Al-Quran and Hadith that the consume of blood is prohibited and the combination of the halal and haram is taken as haram.
Next is the using of cochineal in food coloring. Cochineal or carmine is scale insect in the suborder Stenorhyncha from which the natural dicarmine is derived. Cochineal extract is extracted from the cochineal, specifically the female species of the insect. Going through certain processes, the cochineal will produce bright dye. There is some issue that state the using of carmine is haram. This issue is already discussed by Fatwa of the Islamic Fatwa National Council and Malaysia Religious Affairs Committee. They say that the cochineal is non-insect species harmful and produce that from it can be used or consumed by Muslim. Muslim jurists also agree that the bloodless dead insects are considered as poor and are not nice. But the using of the cochineal in food must be accordance with the approved standard, which is not more than 0.003% until 0.006%. To the type of istihalah. The type of istihalah that used is istihalah sahihah, which is a change of the end product that accepted by majority of the scholars. This process is involved the raw material from halal insect sources, which is cochineal, then mix it with halal or permitted conversion agent, and then causes the process of the transformation of the finished product, which is halal and permitted to consume.
For the next slide is Al-Jalalah animals. Al-Jalalah is defined as a category of animals that eat or given dirty or unclean food either periodically or consistently. Generally, these animals are originally halal to eat, but due to their poor diet has led to changes in their color, smells, and taste. Al-Jalalah also refers to two-legged animals such as chicken and four-legged animals that are raised and grew up by being fed unclean or dirty according to Sharia. Hukum of the issue is, the Hanbali and Shafi'i scholars argue that Al-Jalalah animals is illegal to eat if there is a change in its flesh and smells due to eating dirt and impurities. This is based on Ibn Umar hadith, which is, the Messenger of Allah, may peace be upon him, forbade the eating of Al-Jalalah and the meat of the animal. The application of Istihala Sahihah is used on Al-Jalalah animals, which is by feeding of clean and halal foods that have lost their purity. In addition, foul odors in Al-Jalalah animals can also be eliminated by quarantine for 3 days or more. Quarantine means isolating a material or animal at a specific place and time for a specific purpose, such as purification. The animals of Al-Jalalah will be transformed into tayyib after the process. For the conclusion, according to the concept of the Maqasid Syariah, quarantine Al-Jalalah animals is essential to human health in keeping with life. Islam encourages Muslims to eat halal and tayyib animals. Moreover, Al-Jalalah is well known as animals that can carry a variety of diseases that are harmful to humans, such as food poisoning that can harm a person's life.
Okay, the last issue that we will discuss is about luwak coffee. Luwak is categorized as mammalia animal which tribal folks. In Malaysia, it is known as musang pulut. Luwak choose only the reapers and florist coffee and beans to eat. Coffee beans have a hard shell layer which are not ingested and are excreted out with droppings or their impurities. Luwak impurities. There are two opinions on this issue. First opinion, the impurities of animal which their meat is haram to be eat. the hukum is najis with the consensus of scholar. And then the second opinion is the impurities or najis of animal that halal to be consumed. There are two opinions. The first opinion is some scholar consider it as najis, and second opinion, some scholar consider it as non-najis. So as you can see here, this is the process of luwak coffee. First, luwak its coffee berries, undigested beans are collected, and then the beans are dried in indirect sunlight and sun-dried. And then the third, any bean skin are removed and washed. The end result is green beans, the sun-dried bag. Lastly, the green coffee beans are ready to be packed and stored or roasted. So as you can see from the process of luwak coffee, it is haram or halal to be drink. So from the Muzakarah Council of Fatwa, they decided that it is permissible to drink on the following condition. The coffee beans are in its original state and do not have holes or any broken or etc. And then the seeds are truly washed from najis. And lastly, the luwak coffee must get the halal certificate from JAKIM.
So as the conclusion, the application of istihalah method in the current halal industry must be according to the maslahah of preserving the religion, life and property of Muslim. Thus, even though there are some scholars who are limit its realization of istihalah to certain aspect, but it is not a barrier to adopt, especially involving new issues in society.
Okay, that's bring us to the end of the video. We would like to thank you to everyone for watching our video, and stay positive and stay at home. Assalamualaikum.